Now on CoastTV News.
Billings versus City Hall, a Milford woman's fight against the city's grasp, and the community's support as neighbors band together for Annette Billings land rights, the implications for property values and civic engagement. Georgetown's traffic plan, tonight's pivotal meeting in Georgetown, how the Rossi Group's traffic calming measures promise safer streets and less congestion. A vote for schools, the important role of a referendum in shaping the future of education, what this means for students, teachers, and property values. Milford Food Bank surge, an unprecedented influx at the local food bank, how community challenges are pushing a record number of neighbors to seek help.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
One property owner taking on the city of Milford. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with one Milford woman taking on the city.
There's been tension brewing between the city of Milford and the property owner on Cedar Beach Road, and it's over the acres of land that you see right here on your screen. According to Annette Billings, the city wants to take property from her that's been in her family for 3 generations. But she says it's not for the city to take. Live in Milford now is CoastTV News' Charles Reinert. Charles, people have been showing Annette a lot of support.
Maddie, here at Milford City Hall, both Billings and locals are planning to voice their concerns to City Council on the city using eminent domain to take 8 acres of Billings land. I spoke with Billings this afternoon, and she told me that the city plans to use this land for either a bike path or a park. Now, she also says the city tried buying this land from her for $20,000, but according to Billings, the land is worth much more than that. She also told me she has gotten a lawyer and is going to court this week. Now, neighbors here in Milford have been showing a lot of support online and plan to speak in support of Billings in tonight's city council meeting during the public comment period. Now, Billings says that this support means everything to her.
It's unbelievable. I cannot believe all the support that is being focused on this right now, and as it should be. My concern is for other people that have lost their land this way, and knowing what I've gone through and how you navigate it. They give you these papers and you've got 20 days to appeal it, and it's just, yeah, unbelievable.
The City Council voted to condemn this property back in September. And I reached out to every single member of Milford City Council today for a comment, and the ones that got back to me declined. I also reached out to Milford Mayor Archie Campbell. He told me that since this is now a legal matter, that he can no longer speak about it. I'm Charles Reinert, live in Milford tonight. CoastTV News.
Thank you, Charles. Milford Police released a statement clearing up what they call a misunderstanding this week about police involvement in the case. Officials stated, quote, "We can confirm the chief is not involved in this legal matter, nor did she serve any court paperwork to any resident, either inside or outside of Milford city limits." The police department stresses any serving of court documents that's handled by civil authorities, not Milford Police.
We say this a lot, but more housing might be coming to Sussex County. The Sussex County Planning and Zoning Committee approved a preliminary site plan for a neighborhood that would be called Peck Farm. If approved, as is, 128 new houses will be built on 64 acres of land near Harbison. The plan includes a special area for people to enjoy a clubhouse, pool, walking paths, and the new homes would be connected to city water and sewer systems. They're also planning to make road improvements near that area, along with creating access for emergency vehicles. The final site plan will be reviewed and it would be approved by the Planning and Zoning Committee. That could happen at a later time.
Here's some news on the coast. Rehoboth Beach meeting this Friday to consider lots of changes for the city. According to Rehoboth, commissioners are looking into the board of the Rehoboth Beach Library's request to modify its deed restrictions regarding the library's current property. They're also thinking about changing outdoor dining rules. Also, if you own a car, might be some new rules about insurance, and commissioners planning to maybe increase some parking fees or city tax changes there.
Dewey Beach is also tackling money. The town council will be debating raising the cost for licenses and parking. They're also looking at ways to make streets safer and planning the town's budget for next year. They also need to consider new rules for when dogs can hit the beach.
First, let's clarify in Lewis now, the farmers market. They want the authority to ban dogs if it chooses not looking to ban them altogether. That's on the table tonight at Lewis City Council. The farmers market opens Saturdays at the beginning of May through the end of September at George H.P. Smith Park, and then in the Lewis Elementary School parking lot in October and November. Market organizers say the borders of their event, they're very defined, and they're not asking to restrict dogs elsewhere in the park. This request would also exclude, of course, certified service animals. Those are always allowed. City Council is meeting and hearing this request tonight at 6:30. Tune into Coast TV News at 11 for the outcome of that little dog dilemma there.
The best part about that story is seeing the dogs on screen all the time. This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think should dogs be banned from the Lewis Farmers Market? Let's see what those numbers look like. They were pretty one-sided earlier.
They were, yes, even more so now. 78% say yes altogether. I actually was expecting to see case by case have a lot more of these, Charlie, because maybe some dogs with a bite history or something like that.
Well, case by case, some dogs with a bite history, but also they talk about having the authority to do it maybe if they don't have any problems for a while,
Sure.
They keep it open, then suddenly they've had some problems, they can close it. We're going to have more updates on this story tonight at 11, but if you haven't voted in that poll yet, you still can at coasttv.com or use our Coast TV mobile app.
Hey, some new information tonight. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers spending $5.3 million to fix a damaged part of the Indian River inlet. They're working to repair a wall that keeps the water back and stop too much sand from entering the inlet. Engineers say it's important to keep the area safe and protect nearby parks. Delaware Seashore's right there. Now, February 15th, that's Thursday, there is a virtual meeting for anyone who wants to know more. Work is expected to start in April. As we take a live look right now into Ocean City, our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. And if you haven't heard the rumor that's out there, meteorological rumor that is, that there is a winter storm headed in our direction. That's true. And could it bring snow our way? That's also true too. Yes, it will. But doesn't look like it's going to quite have the opportunity to accumulate. I'll explain that in more detail in a moment. First of all, our Hershey's exterior camera in Ocean City at 44 degrees will drop from 44, will push from 44 up to 45 by 9 o'clock. But that's also when we're expecting the rain to start. And once it gets going, looks like it's going to stick around for an extended period of time. Now, we're a bit more cloudy for us, actually, courtesy of our Tyndall casual furniture site. And we're looking at in Laurel holding at about 42 degrees initially. And we're going to bounce around in the low to mid 40s with scattered showers already beginning to pick up, because you can see this is why it's looking so hazy here. It's because the moisture is already accumulating on the lens. So we are looking at light to scattered showers already skipping across portions of Sussex County. We have an active coastal flood warning that's connected to the high tides during the daytime hours. And we're going to be concerned about that. Also, we have concerns for possibility of flooding in Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico on the bay side here. That's also in effect. Winds also a concern. We're going to talk more about the winds and what to expect in the next few moments. Till then, back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. New in Georgetown, you can see on your screen the progress that is being made on the new Sussex County Family Court building. Now, that work is taking place on Race and East Market Streets. You can see the structure. More of those beams are up there, and even though you can see the progress, well, the project is still not expected to be completed until spring of 2025.
Cape Henlopen State Park officials say they've noticed a lot of litter washing up, and they need your help. If you're available on Friday from 1 to 3, you can help clean up the beach at specifically Beach Plum Island Nature Preserve. That's in Lewis. Tools will be available for volunteers, and they can meet at the parking lot first.
If you've driven through Georgetown, specifically if you drive through that Cinder Way and Mulberry Street area, that neighborhood, you probably already know this. It gets congested there. You have a lot of complaints about traffic, about the speed of drivers in the area. Now the mayor and town council are looking to do something about that. The group is going to hear a presentation at tonight's town council meeting at 7 p.m. Now the Rossi group will be introducing some alternative options for the area. Now, they came up with these options after a public workshop where people who live in town voted on what they feel are the best solutions. Here's what one longtime Georgetown local told us. that she's looking forward to seeing in the area to help keep everybody safe.
A sign that would reflect what your speed is. And I know for myself, if I'm driving somewhere and I look up and I see that I'm going 55 and it's supposed to be 50, that it brings it to your attention. Maybe people don't realize they're going quite that fast.
Again, that meeting is slated to take place at 7 p.m. According to town manager Jean Dvornik, the mayor and town council could take some action on these recommendations.
There will be a public workshop at the Cape Henlopen High School on DelDOT's 5 Points project. The hybrid meeting will give people the opportunity to hear progress specifically on the Plantation Road project. That's a roundabout that promises safer intersections and better paths for biking and walking. DelDOT will also share updates on other transportation around the 5 Points area. If you drive through there like me every day, you know there's a lot going on. Well, the workshop on all of that is happening February 26th from 6 to 8 p.m.
Across Delaware, an important push is underway to boost the quality of education. The Delaware Secretary of Education is calling on communities to support school referendums. That is critical funding to help improve classrooms, hire more teachers, and expand student programs. Cape Henlopen is going to join 5 other districts statewide in this effort. According to the state, Cape Henlopen will pursue the referendums on March 26th.
A new step forward for Delaware's aging population, as 2 state senators are starting a group called the Caucus on Aging. They say the group's about making life better for seniors since, did you know this, 20% of people in Delaware are now over 65. The caucus's first meeting is this Thursday at Legislative Hall.
A new law in Delaware could make riding motorcycles a little safer. State Representative Danny Short has worked to pass a law called House Bill 106. Here's what that does. It's going to keep a special group working permanently. It's already existed. This would make it permanent. The group looks at how to educate riders better, checks on laws about motorcycles and tires to figure out how to prevent accidents. Now, the law is waiting for Governor Carney's approval.
Delaware lawmakers also talking about a new way to deal with parents who don't pay child support. Instead of punishing them by taking away their driver's or work licenses, or you can even be put in jail for that, a new bill wants to help them keep working so they can pay. The bill's sponsor says that the idea is if the parents can work, they're more likely to pay the child support that they owe. The bill has passed the House. It's now going to the Senate for more discussion. And we have a lot more news to get to this evening.
BB's health update, big changes coming to mask rules at BB locations. That starts tomorrow. We're going to tell you what it means for your next visit.
I see intrigue incoming. I'll give you the scoop on the potential of black ice and late night freeze risk with the next couple of days.
But first, filling a shopping cart with essentials. Why the Milford Food Bank is seeing an increase in visitors at its pantry. We're back in just 60 seconds.
Ashley's President's Day mattress sale is going on now. Save up to $800 on select Purple adjustable mattress sets, or receive a $699 instant gift with the purchase of any Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress set. Plus special financing options at Ashley.
Play the Maryland Lottery. Because fun looks good on you. Right now, play our exciting new multiplier scratch-offs for a chance to win up to $2 million.
Ashley's President's Day mattress sale is going on now. Save up to $800 on select Purple adjustable mattress sets, or receive a $699 instant gift with the purchase of any Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress set. Plus special financing options at Ashley.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
From chicken noodle soup to mac and cheese, volunteers at the Food Bank of Delaware, you can see them here, are hurrying to stock the shelves as they see more and more people walking through their doors in need of that food.
As Coast TV's Tori Seagraves shows us, the food bank has seen an almost 50% increase since moving to that new facility.
Nora Mastrosimone has spent the last year stocking shelves at the Food Bank of Delaware in Milford so that those in need can roll through the aisles and fill their carts.
It gives them so much more of a choice of what they need. They can pick and choose as if they're walking through Redner's or Food Lion. It gives them more dignity that they're coming here to shop.
Mastrosimone prides herself in helping neighbors on a one-on-one basis pick out items from the Healthy Pantry Center. A lot of times are people she has come to know, but recently she says she's noticed a big increase in new faces. The numbers back that up. The food bank has gone from serving 300 people in 24 hours to 444 people since moving to the new facility about a month ago.
Food is very expensive.
According to the bank, layoffs and seasonal workers account for the majority of new shoppers.
It just gives them that option here to be able to save a little bit of money and be able to help them.
But feeding more mouths requires more helping hands.
There's a huge need for more volunteers. So if that could ever happen, we can always use the help. So volunteers are a very big part of what we do, and we need them.
Helping address hunger in the Milford community, one cart at a time. Besides food, the Milford Food Bank is looking for donations of reusable bags for people coming to use the pantry. I'm Tori Seagraves in Milford, Coast TV News.
Right now, we take a look at our expectations. We're watching out for a gale wind warning. It's in a full effect. Don't leave anywhere. You're going to need to know this information.
Your tax return over there. Your tax return at Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury. Get more for your tax money with Red Tag Savings, 40 to 75% off. Alton Brothers, furnishing Delmarva for over 75 years.
Delivered to your home with care.
Uncover the perfect blend of comfort, innovation, and safety at Gateway Subaru. And right now, it's your choice. Choose what fits your lifestyle and budget. Choose to lease a new 2024 Subaru Forester for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 2.9%. Choose to lease a new 2024 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 1.9%. Gateway Subaru, where every choice leads to a new adventure. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Are leaves and debris causing issues with your gutter? No need to risk climbing a shaky ladder ever again. We have the permanent solution. Gutter Helmet, America's #1 choice in gutter protection for over 40 years. Engineered to manage the heaviest of rainfalls, letting water flow freely. And the best part, never clean your gutters again, guaranteed. The lifetime warranty is transferable, so you can rest assured that you'll never have to replace your Gutter Helmet system. And right now, save 20% on your new gutters and Gutter Helmet. Call Gutter Helmet today for your free estimate.
Get the Coast TV First Alert Weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app, sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
Your tax return over there. Your tax return at Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury. Get more for your tax money with Red Tag Savings, 40 to 75% off. Alton Brothers, furnishing Delmarva for over 75 years.
Delivered to your home with care.
Whether it's a natural disaster or just everyday life's mishaps, in disaster's wake, there's only one call to make: Royal Plus. Find us at royalplus.com. We bring calm to the chaos.
100.9% classic country plays real country.
There's a winter storm that's beginning to veer its way towards us, and we will get a little bit of snow from it, but there's a catch to it that I want to explain to you as we get a little bit closer into and get into the details of that. But currently, courtesy of our Dry Tech camera, we're at 44 degrees at this present time, and we're going to stay at 44 till about, let's say, 8 o'clock, drop to 43. Then the rain should arrive in Ocean City by 9 going into 10 o'clock. And once the rain starts, it's pretty much going to continue to roll along. Now, some folks are already receiving the rain, and if you're a little intimidated by the QR code right here and you just want to call in for the weather forecast, well, we have our new First Alert Coast TV weather line, just simply call 443-880-9100. The forecast is just a call away and sponsored by Baird Mendelis, Brockstead, and Federico. So you can call and get that number. It's updated 24 hours a day. See, here's the deal. We have coastal flood warnings now. We've been at least telling you consistently last week about coastal flood advisories and statements and all that because it was connected to the high tides. We're just getting inundated. Now that we have rain on the way, this complicates it a little bit more. So now we have a flood warning. It's active for Sussex, along with gale wind watches and warnings along the coast. So the winds are going to really become robust at about 30 to 40 miles per hour along the coast. And that also affects inland winds as well. So we now have a newly issued wind advisory for Accomack and Worcester, as well as Northampton. You combine that with also another additional flood statement for Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico, but that's on the bay side of things, okay? So if you're near a big body of water in your neighborhood, that's where the inundation is going to come from initially. Then we have the rain that's on top of it, adding a little insult to injury, so to speak. We have some scattered showers that's going to make its way out of the deep south, and we're going to see all of this precipitation swing towards us. The top half of it is going to be snow. The bottom half will be rain. We'll get both in our neck of the woods on Tuesday. 42 in Lewis, Rehoboth, and in Millsboro, as well as Georgetown. So we're slightly above freezing. And while we stay above freezing, everything stays good old-fashioned cold rain. 4 o'clock in the morning, cold rain. Embedded thunderstorms. 7 o'clock in the morning, near Broadkill, thunderstorm, but still rain. Then 10 o'clock, it switches, okay, down to 35, but it's the upper atmosphere we're going to see that zero line, and that's also when we're going to see that snow that will begin to hit. Because it's not freezing down on the surface and it hadn't been cold for an extended period of time, what snow falls, not likely to stick around or accumulate, but it's going to leave the streets wet. So we have to watch out for a hard freeze from Tuesday night going to Wednesday morning. Now look at the amount of rain. For example, in the morning time, it's not a really big deal, but by the afternoon, we're looking at about an inch of rain in a lot of areas, possibly even more than an inch and a half. Combine that with the winds, particularly coming out of the north at about 41 miles per hour, and you see why we had to upgrade the yellow alert day to a first alert day, which is why it's going to be highlighted in red instead of yellow. One last note before I let you go. Then the cold steps in after the rain. For Thursday, Sunday, really for the rest of the week, we're going to have a light freeze to a hard freeze. So tonight, 40 scattered showers, 47 with early rain hitting, and Wednesday, brace for the cold Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodel extended forecast. First alert day, mainly in the morning, up until about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you. Hey, starting tomorrow, you don't have to wear a mask at BB anymore. The hospital says that's due to fewer respiratory illnesses. Remember a few weeks ago when it felt like everybody was sick? Apparently not the case anymore, according to BB, so no more masks. But BB says if you're sick or just got over COVID, it is necessary to wear a mask.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
An ESEAC clash on the hardwood tonight as second place Delmarva Christian is squaring off with Saints Peter and Paul in boys basketball. The Sabres are 7-6 on the season and most recently earning a 56-point win over Worcester Prep and defeating Key School by 9 last week. On the flip side, 11-7 Delmarva Christian is hoping to bounce back after a 43-point loss to the current leader of the ESEAC, Salisbury School, and falling to Woodbridge by just 2 points last week. Watch highlights on the final score at 10:30 tonight. To Bayside boys hoops, Parkside is going for their 4th straight win and facing the Crisfield Crabbers, aiming to get back in the win column. Crisfield is hoping to rebound after a 21-point loss to Colonel Richardson. On the other side, the Rams took down North Carolina 59-43 at the Peak Challenge Saturday, and before that knocked off Washington by 22 points. Watch our Game of the Night live on DSN right now. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Soaring Over the Shore is brought to you by Morse Roofing and Siding.
An important tributary and very well traveled, Love Creek is as sweet as it sounds.
Many drivers know this waterway because it crosses under 24. It's also host to salt marshes and some bay grasses that help waterfowl, fish, and crabs alike. There is more and more development taking place along Love Creek, making this Angola gem more well known, as well as calls to protect its beautiful banks.
On November 1st, 2023, the State of Delaware Consumer Protection Unit implemented new regulations to reduce fraudulent practices by home improvement contractors in the first state. To protect you and your home, know the law. Always verify the contractor's professional licensing at contractorregistry.delaware.gov. Don't fall for just licensed and insured. Always get a detailed scope of work. And remember, bargain basement prices may lead to yard sale quality. Peace of mind. Brought to you by Morse Roofing and Siding.
Delmarva's Classic Rock. Big 107.7.
Window World of Delmarva, quality and price that can't be beat. Get premium vinyl insulated siding for only $298.35 per month.
No matter the size of the project, you can trust Window World of Delmarva to get it done right.
Call now for a free estimate.
When you smoke inside, you're not the only one who inhales. Secondhand smoke causes cancer and heart disease in adults, and respiratory problems in children, and SIDS in infants. If you smoke or vape, take it outside.
WBOC.
Window World of Delmarva, quality and price that can't be beat. Get a 10-window package for only $121.81 per month.
No matter the size of the project, you can trust Window World of Delmarva to get it done right.
Remember, first to call, first to install.
It's time to experience an extraordinary lineup of entertainment at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. Enjoy performances by the Four Phantoms in concert on February 4th, Wheel of Fortune Live on February 29th, The Simon and Garfunkel Story March 18th, and The Price is Right Live on April 1st. The excitement is building, and now it's your turn to be a part of it. Secure your seats at ococean.com/pack and join us for the most amazing season yet. Don't miss out. Come experience the magic of live performances all in one place at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. See you there.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Rainy and windy for tonight and tomorrow morning. That's why we have a First Alert morning. After that, prepare for a hard freeze.
Well, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
We're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.